Hey, it's Nudia from Nudia in the Afternoon here on Vocalo Radio, Chicago's only urban alternative. I have to tell you about the funnest thing I did this weekend. I got to go to this amazing play, Illinoise, at the Chicago Shakespeare Theater. It was press night, so of course I had to roll up. If you haven't heard of it, I mean, there's all over social media, all over the city. Grammy and Oscar nominated Sufjan Stevens' acclaimed concept, his album. It has kind of this cult status, and a lot of people love it, and it's kind of brought to life here at the Chicago Shakespeare Theater. And I got to go to a performance. If you want to go, performances run from January 28th to February 18th. I actually have someone from the cast here with me, vocalist Tasha Viets-VanLear. She's a Chicago singer, songwriter, poet, and activist. We know her here on Vocalo just as Tasha. We play Lake Superior and Kind of Love on the air here, and I'm so happy to have you in here with us. Hey.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Could I just say, oh my gosh, not only is the play beautiful, but I heard your voice. I could hear it. You hear it. So there's only a couple of you that work as vocalists, right?
Yeah,
how many?
Three vocalists.
Okay. And so you're able to hear your voice so distinctly. I thought that was a really cool experience. What was it like getting casted in this? Like, had you listened to the album before?
Yeah, I'm super familiar with the album. I first listened to it in high school. A few years after it came out, the first Sufjan album I heard was Age of Ads, which came out a few years after Illinois. But I was a huge fan from the time I was a teenager. And a lot of the songs in this show and on the album, I remember learning to play on guitar when I was 15 or 16 years old. And it feels like a really special and kind of magical full circle moment for me to be able to play them and sing them on a stage of this caliber in such an incredible show.
And a really important question. How does it feel to sing with butterfly wings? I mean, right? Are they butterfly wings?
Yeah, they can be interpreted as moth wings or butterfly wings. It's kind of an homage to when Sufjan first toured this record, back when he was doing this album cycle. He was known for him and his band showing up in these really beautiful moth butterfly outfits, and so I think they're kind of giving him a nod there. But it feels really nice and kind of pretty and angelic to be up there on the stage in these beautiful wings. Yeah,
I know. I got that angelic, like fairy, vibes.
Yeah, totally.
It was very cute because you guys are kind of perched up with the band. What is it, like a 12-piece band or something?
I think there are 14 of us all together.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was really cool to see. And then of course you have just this amazing choreography and dancing. I was looking at it. Tony Award winner Justin Peck, he partnered with the Pulitzer Prize winning playwright Jackie Sablee's jury, and it was just beautiful. It's so funny you reference high school when you first listened to Illinois. Because I got so many high school flashbacks. I don't know why. I think probably just because so many of the stories that were told throughout the play, they were so relatable to that time, like love and heartbreak and life and death, and you really, I kind of had that very it felt very coming of age.
Absolutely. I think that's for sure a theme and a through line through the show. And I think there are really, one of the reasons it's so kind of moving to be a part of is all of the cast of dancers as well as the band kind of get to interpret these stories through our own lenses and our own stories and memories, whether it be connections to the music itself or just our own relationship to coming of age or heartbreak or loss. And I think everyone puts all of their feeling into their performance, and it really enriches the show every single night.
And I do have to say, to everyone that is performing the show, props to you guys. There's no intermission.
Right.
Because me and the girlfriend that I took, we were waiting to use the bathroom. And we're like, hold on. There was no intermission. So you guys are really like continuously performing at such a high level. Like, I was looking at you guys singing. I was looking at the band playing. And then also the dancers dancing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no. Everyone has to be in really good shape on that stage. Like, you're bringing your A game every single night. So what was the rehearsal process? As I'm watching you guys, I was wondering that. I'm like, how did everyone like rehearse together? Because you guys had to learn your vocals, the dancers had to learn the choreography, and then did you guys all come together and like practice it? Was it like kind of grueling for you guys?
That's a great question. We actually, as far as the music, we were separate for most of this process, as far as the dancers and the musicians. So the musicians had a 3-day workshop in New York City in last March of 2023, and it was part audition, part workshop. When I was invited to join, I didn't even really know if I had the gig yet, but by the end of the 3 days, they had invited me to do the show for the Bard Summerscape series last summer in upstate New York at Bard. And when we arrived at Bard, we had maybe 3 days of music rehearsal, and then we were joined by the dancers and had another couple of days of tech before we started the performances. So it was a really quick process. And then for this run, the dancers have been rehearsing, I believe, since the beginning of January, but the musicians all arrived here, I think, four days before our first invited dress. So we had 2 days of music rehearsal and then 3 days of tech with the dancers and then our first audience. So it was a really...
Oh, so you guys were just all thrown together?
It was a pretty expedited process. But maybe it's my, like, this ingrained childhood urge I have to excel and show my teachers I've done a good job, but I had many hours of practicing before these rehearsals started, of sitting in my room and learning the music. And the vocalists, we've all also been tasked with being off book, and whereas last summer we were able to have music stands in front of us, so it was definitely a feat of its own to not only learn the music but have it memorized for these performances.
So that's basically what off book means, for everyone who doesn't know.
Yes.
So when you have the music sheets.
Yeah, it's about, for me, I think with my guitar parts and vocal parts, it's nearly 100 pages of music.
Wow.
And Shara Nova, who's one of the other vocalists and also a collaborator of Sufjan Stevens, she's also playing guitar, and Elijah Lyons is also playing keyboard. So we're all wearing a couple different hats, as well as singing. So it's been a challenge, but also just being able to do it every single night and have the support of each other and the support of the band makes it a lot easier.
I love that. And I would have to say, so you kind of just, when you saw, because you guys get to sing and the dancers really bring that to life.
Yeah.
Like, do you have a favorite number, like, visually, that you're like, I just love, like, when we all perform this together?
There are so many, and every night it is so it's so affected by the audience too, because it's always a fresh room, and the energy is always different, and that informs, I think, the way that we perform and the way the numbers feel. I'm a little bit biased. I sing the song Man of Metropolis, which is the Superman number in the show.
Oh, yes,
and
yes.
I do love that one.
And it seems like an audience favorite, too.
Yeah.
I don't know, the night that I was, we were going crazy for it.
It's great. And I think, I love to sing it, but I also love the choreography, and as well as the other song. Again, I'm biased, but the other song that I sing lead on in the show is Jacksonville, and that number features Byron Tittle and Rachel Lockhart.
Is that the tap dancing?
Yes, Byron does the tap
one,
dancing,
yeah.
and Rachel does her solo, and they are both such incredible dancers and movers and artists, and we have been encouraged throughout this process by Justin Peck, the director and choreographer, to find more moments of engagement with the dancers, the vocalists, I mean, as we sing the show and go from number to number, and that song in particular, I always really look forward to my moments of eye contact with Rachel and Byron, when we kind of get to look at each other and really kind of bask in what we're doing on stage, and kind of remind ourselves that this is a collective process, and no one, from the musicians to the dancers, are doing this in a silo. No one's doing it from an individual point of view. I think we're all really reflecting each other's energy on the stage, and those two songs in particular feel really special for the ways that I get to connect with the dancers.
I love getting to hear that. I love the little behind the scenes things that like us as audience members are never gonna know, you know? And you're describing it to sound so special, and it really seems like such a special like performance, and it's just such a special play. And I know that like the Jacksonville, the tap dancing number, that was like one of my favorite moments. But as far as visually and with the dancers, you could expect everything from lyrical to hip hop to tap to like to just these really intricate pieces that in the beginning when they start dancing you're like, okay, like I could do this, and then as the show goes on you're like, yeah, no, I can't do any of this, you know. And it's so funny because there's a couple of numbers where, you know, I was getting a little emotional, and I'm like, oh my gosh, am I getting soft? But I look around and everyone's patting, you know, patting a tear. And so it is really like this beautiful and emotional journey. Yeah. And you can really see that with the dancers, with the band, with the singers. Yeah. And so how many days do you personally practice for the show? Is it like, because it is a big show, are you like every night in your bedroom going over your numbers, or at this point are you like, okay, I'm good, I got it?
At this point, I think I pretty much got it.
Okay.
You know, knock on wood. I hope tonight I don't have any.
We have some wood here.
Have any unexpected flubs. But I did, I think last summer leading up to our first staging of the show, and there were definitely a few solid weeks that I was going over the music and just making sure I knew it, because I think going into a process like this, just feeling confident and feeling like I know the music really allows me to kind of breathe life into what I'm doing the same way I would with my own music, when I don't feel so nervous about playing things correctly. I can show up in a much more relaxed and present way and let the music speak for itself, and not be in my head about the technicalities of it, because I already know it. It's already in me.
That's a great place to be. And it was also a great segue. When are we going to hear new music from you? When are, you know, we were Team Vocalo during our meeting when I told everyone you were coming by. Yeah. They're like, when are we getting some new, when are we going to get some new stuff to play on Vocalo?
Yeah. Soon. Fingers crossed. It's been, I mean, it's great to be here because I feel like Vocalo has been around since the beginning of my little music career, and I do have a new album that's recorded and hopefully being released sometime later this year.
Wow, so it sounds like it's a good year for you. We love that. It's just starting off. Yeah. So years that start off good, they usually end good. So you could again catch yourself and everyone else in this production. What days is it on?
The show?
Yeah, what days does it run?
It runs until February 18th, though I'm pretty sure most of the days are sold out at this point. So there might not be many chances to come see it, but take a little road trip to New York, and we'll be in New York from this March 2nd to the 24th, doing another run.
Oh, wow. Okay, so is it all the same cast and production? You guys just all going to New York?
It'll be the same crew, yeah.
Oh, what a fun experience for you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you cannot snatch your tickets through February 18th here, then you have to do that little roadie to New York, you know?
Exactly.
If you want to check out to see if there's any openings, any tickets left, ChicagoShakes.com is where you could go. Thank you again, Tasha, so much for being here with us.
Thank you for having me, Nudia.